Is New Year a good time to stop drinking and get sober for good? Today's video, I'm going to be sharing some of the advantages and disadvantages of stopping drinking when New Year starts. So first of all, the advantages. Number one, there's a real sense of a fresh start when a new year happens. There's a real sense of kind of out with the old and in with the new. And this can be quite motivating. You see it all the time online and in towns and cities around you, these events that say New Year, New You. And this sense of freshness, of vitality, of looking forward and doing things differently in the future can give you some real momentum and give you some real energy. And the second advantage to doing it at New Year is there's a kind of neatness to one year ending and another year beginning. And the way that our minds work, we like that neatness. We like to kind of box things off and neaten things up. And it kind of makes sense to us as well, that there's a real strong marker, a strong line in the sand from one year finishing and another new year starting. And again, this can be quite motivating. And thirdly, another advantage is that there can be a lot of motivation and momentum just because of the very fact that so many people are doing the same thing alongside you. So you get people making New Year's resolutions to stop drinking. You get people doing dry January. You get people doing it because their friends are doing it. You get people stopping drinking for all sorts of reasons in New Year. And this can make it a lot easier on you. If you have an unhealthy relationship and you want to stop drinking for good, this can be a good time to do it because that sense of community and that sense of everybody doing the same thing all at the same time can really help drive you forward and help you stick to your goals. A fourth advantage to stopping drinking at New Year is you can kind of get all your celebrating out of the way first. Lots of people report that there's a real intensity to the pressure to drink in the couple of months leading up to Christmas and New Year. And that come January, the 1st of January, and the January diary can be a lot calmer and a lot quieter. And this can make it easier on us when we're facing that challenging first month or two of learning to change our habits and practice our new sober lifestyle. And New Year can be a much easier time to do this. Okay, so now for some of the disadvantages to stopping drinking at New Year. Number one, and perhaps the most significant of all, is if you're one of these people who in the past has made lots of New Year's resolutions only to break them again shortly afterwards, then it's likely that this has become a kind of pattern to you, a kind of habit in itself. So when you think about New Year's resolutions, if you're thinking that there's something kind of short-lived that you start and then stop, then it's very likely that the unconscious part of your mind has made this pattern a kind of program, that it's programmed itself to think about New Year's resolutions as a temporary short-lived thing. And if this is the case, even while you're consciously planning your stopping drinking, your preparation, your support mechanisms, and you're trying to put everything in place, even while you're consciously doing all that, it's very likely that the unconscious part of your mind is sabotaging your efforts. The second disadvantage to stopping drinking at New Year is that New Year is actually a very short-lived space of time. New Year, scientifically speaking, actually only lasts for a split second when the old year turns into the new year. It's no longer New Year in February. It's certainly no longer New Year come November and December. So if we're making plans to do something differently in the new year, we need to be aware that the unconscious part of us might be interpreting that as a very short-lived thing. And what we really want to be doing is making a permanent change to our lifestyle. And a permanent change to our lifestyle can happen at any time at all. And thirdly, when you want to make a big change to an ingrained habit like drinking, it's really important that you recognise that the secret to your success is not the significance of the date or time you choose to do it. The secret to your success is the amount of commitment you give it. It's the planning you put in, the preparation you do, the support that you set up, and the tools that you use to help you through challenging times. All of these things are much more important than just deciding that you're going to do it on a particular date or a particular time. What helps you succeed is the planning, the preparation, and the commitment, the determination you put into it. You're looking to change your normal. You're not looking to temporarily do something differently and then go back to the old normal again. So you need a lot of determination, commitment, and preparation in order to succeed. And the fourth disadvantage is the same as one of the advantages, and that's that there's loads of other people doing exactly the same thing at the same time as you. The issue is that not all of those people are going to have an unhealthy relationship with alcohol. Not all of those people are going to be deciding to stop drinking for good. Lots of people do it for lots of different reasons. So because a friend's doing it, because they want to do dry January, because they want to give their bodies a break. And what happens is this big kind of wave of people all doing the same thing, it's very easy to join in with that. The problem is when some of those people decide that they're going to go back to drinking again in February or March or whenever it is, it can be more challenging to not follow the rest of the pack, to not go with that wave of people. So the important thing is that when you have an unhealthy relationship with alcohol and you decide you want to stop drinking for good, that you do it in the best way possible for you. You prepare in the best way possible for you. You choose the time that works best for you. You get the support that works best for you around you. You choose the tools that you can use that are going to help you through the challenging times. And you choose the date that's going to work best for you, whether it's New Year or not New Year. Only you will know the best date and time for you. I stopped drinking in October time. It was in October. And I knew that I had Christmas and New Year coming up. But I got all my preparation in place. I planned really carefully for it. I got my support in place. And I gathered all the tools to me that I knew that I was going to need to use when I faced challenging times. And I haven't looked back since. There are no right and wrong ways of doing this. There's only the best way that works for you. And that might be New Year or it might not be New Year. You can judge for yourself whether you align more with the advantages and the disadvantages that I've just shared with you. Perhaps you have your own ideas about some advantages and disadvantages to stopping drinking at New Year. If you do share them below. We'd love to hear from you. For more inspiration and motivation, encouragement to stop drinking and live life happily and healthily sober, you can subscribe to my channel. I'll look forward to catching up with you very soon, but in the meantime, let's go get sober together.